All right, let's step up our loop examples a bit. This one's called bank interest. I remember doing this one about 20, 30 years ago in school. This one here, you ask how much money they have, you ask what the bank rate is for interest, and how many years they're going to be leaving the money in the bank. We're just going to do a nice, simple or a compound interest on it. So every time the year ends, we should calculate how much interest they've earned, add it on to their money. That's the money they start the second year with. End of the second year, calculate how much interest they've earned, add that on to the money. That's how much money they have at the end of the second year. And you just keep doing this for how many years that they've entered. You'll see here I've already set up entering the double, double, and int for their money rate and years. Now I'm going to set this up in terms of a loop, right? This is a perfect loop. I don't want to calculate this 30 times on my own. Let the loop go 30 times. So here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a for loop for this one. I'm going to choose the for loop because the for loop is often good when you know how many times you want to do the loop. Well, I know how many times I want to do it. I want to do it from 1 to whatever they entered for years. So if they entered 10 for years, I want to go from 1 to 10 times, cycle through this loop. So here we go. Integer k starts at 1. I'm going to keep k going while I'm less than or equal to years. So if years is 10, this loop will run 10 times, assuming I go up by once. So there I go. I got my loop. That'll go 10 times. Now, what do I do in here? Well, I have to readjust their money, so I can do something like this inside the loop. I could go double interest equals, and I'm going to calculate how much interest they've earned. Well, it's their money times the rate. Hopefully you know that from your math grade 8 or 9. Money times the rate, that's the interest. Now I got to add that on to their money that they currently have. So money is money plus interest. So their money just went up. I may as well just do a little system out here. Print line. Here's a nice one. After k years, you have, let's put a $sign in there, money. Now, notice I've actually used the loop counter k inside my output. This is nice. On the first year, k is 1. So it'll say after 1 year, years, you have, and it shows the money, which was upped. When it hits the second year, it's going to do the whole thing again, and it'll say after 2 years. And we'll get a nice little return. So let's see here how rich you guys can be if you invest your $1,000. Let's give this a run. So let's run it. How much money I have? Let's say I have $100. Now, rates aren't very good these days. Okay, back in my parents' days, you could get a rate like 7%. Let's just assume you could get 7%. So I'll say 0.07. And let's just do this for 10 years and see what happens. And you can see your money pretty well doubled, right? You went from $100 to $196. So let's just call that 200, right? So it doubled. That was the olden days. Nowadays, the rates are like 1.5 and 2. Let's give this a little test at today's rates and see how much less you're making when you save your money. So let's take the same $100. Let's take a rate of 2%. And let's do the same 10 years of savings. And only $121. I mean, that's a big difference, right? Before you were doubling every 10 years. Now you're barely going up after 10 years. But I can guarantee you the price of bread after 10 years will probably be 2-3 times the price. So not very good investing in a little tiny bank account at 2%. You got to find something better. Anyways, that's that example. Enjoy that code. Nice little useful one there.